Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well, and I hope everyone is having a blessed Easter. Because it is Easter, I want to kind of give you guys some longer uploads. So I figure I've got this 2-hour video that I did with Victor, and why not share it today? Because like I said, once the book is done, that is when I put the Victor playlist together and do not do any more uploads containing Victor in them at all. If anybody wants to watch them, they can go to the playlist. But once again, that's when the book is done. I'm working with a publisher right now, and I'm very excited about that because I'm shooting for at least the beginning of May to have the book out. So before we get into that though, a couple links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below, merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It doesn't cost you a cent. Click that like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go, and folks, they do matter. Now, everyone, I've taken far too much of your time. Let's jump in to today's Easter second half, shall we? All right, everybody, tonight's first subscriber call is to Michelle. Michelle, how are you today?
Hello, Jeff. How you doing? Hello, Victor. It's a pleasure to meet you both.
It's great to have you on.
I'm very excited.
All right. Well, you've got some questions for Victor. So right now I'm going to turn the floor over to you and Victor.
All
okay.
Right.
Hi, Victor.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good. What you got
Good.
for me tonight?
Okay. My questions are fairly simple. First one is regarding like Dogman and werewolf. And just the big three. How many are located in like Montgomery County, southeastern area, Pennsylvania? I also like to camp in the Poconos area. Like, am I safe?
Yeah, what county?
Montgomery County.
Montgomery.
So it's right above Philadelphia.
Okay.
I swear I saw one day, but I don't know. It could have been a really big dog, but...
Well, let me get this out of the way right away. Montgomery County. I'm looking at your entire county right now. Montgomery County's been known, and it always have a high number.
Okay.
So don't be alarmed by that.
All right. So, I live close to Evansburg Park, so I take it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's a known thoroughfare for them.
Wow.
So don't be alarmed with these numbers, because I know when you said the county that it's a known thoroughfare.
All right.
You got 13 dogmen in your county right now. You got to remember these things are nomadic. There might be 13 there today. There might be there 2 tomorrow.
Wow.
And you got 13
right. And then they're just the tag ones, right?
And you got 8 werewolves.
Wow.
So right now, you're not overloaded with them. I have seen that number way, way higher.
Oh, in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. No, we camp a lot in the Poconos.
Yes.
So I'm sure there's a lot around there, like World's End.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So
you're safe anywhere in the wilderness. The chances of meeting one of these things is very, very high. And just remember, don't look it in the eyes if you do have an encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Just look down and glance up. Look down and glance up. Remember to do that. Don't look it directly in the eye. Don't stare.
Okay. It'll be hard, but okay.
Yeah, it's hard.
I tend to panic, though.
Because you want to take in everything you can see. You want to take in every bit of it. But that's if you just look down, you look up, look down, look up. Watch its movements.
Okay, yeah, because one night I was actually sitting in a park. It was after hours when I shouldn't have been there, but I heard a noise, and it almost sounded like a tire screeching. But from afar, but at the same time it didn't. And then the next day, I swore I saw a Dogman. I swore I did. And this is when I didn't believe in them. And, my boyfriend was making fun of me. And, but I really, really think it was. Because I know the people who all live there. I know their dogs. And one has a big dog, but this was not it.
Yeah.
This was huge. It was staring at me on top of the hill while I was driving past it. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you can tell them. They're huge, and they'll sit and watch black. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Black or a dark gray. But that I've had them described to me in just about every color in the rainbow. I've had one woman tell me one night that she seen one that was blue, and I think what it was seeing was the silver
black
one, silver gray.
Right.
And it appeared, got a blue sheen to it, and it was probably an old one. Oh,
right. I had a cat like that. He was gray, but he looked blue sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. I have my next question is the Delaware man's encounter. I don't know if you heard it. It was about 3 months ago. I can't get this gentleman off my mind. Was that in like the Washington County area or the Lycan Loop?
Now I missed the first part of your question. What were they shot?
Yeah, there's a gentleman from Delaware who came up to Pennsylvania to go camping right after the parks opened. And he had a terrifying encounter.
Yes,
he shot it. I think about this gentleman all the time. Plus, I'm from Delaware County. It's where I grew up. In Delaware, where I believe he's from, we're neighbors.
Yes.
So it feels like personal to me.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was in... I'm sorry, Victor, go ahead.
What was you asking about it? Was
that in like Washington County or close to the Lycan Loop? Lycan Loop?
What was that county? Luke's started with an L. I think it was.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me pull it up right here.
Were you part of that?
No,
I don't think you were. I think you were on your... Yeah, you were on your thing, yeah.
Washington.
I was worried about you.
Washington.
It was in Washington?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, that's I had a feeling because when you mentioned the fishing, they have great trout fishing there.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually excellent. Mm-hmm. I can't answer any questions. Okay, and then your PA hunt a few months ago. Can you talk about that a little more detail?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. That's fine. I don't want to compromise anything.
The Philadelphia hunt?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it was in downtown Philadelphia.
Wow.
And it was in the basement of a historic building that has tunnels that runs from different buildings in the city.
Right, so that's probably all right. Independence Hall, all in there. So times running out.
And a worker had gave word that he had ran into something, and some law enforcement went down there and came back and said that there was more than one. They called DNR to have it removed. DNR went down there and said it was infested. And it was more than infested.
Wow. And how many years ago was that?
That happened this year.
This year?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was, part where the old prison system is.
Yeah, I lived in Philadelphia for 15 years. In I call them my golden years.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it's part of the old prison system that was underground. And
wow.
That old prison system runs to probably 60 different buildings. So they have plenty of entrance ways, but they're all sealed off now from the top. They can't nothing get into the underneath portions of the tunnels anymore. After this happened, all the top entrances was sealed.
Right.
So they can't get into the basement areas from the top anymore. You can go in through buildings, but you have to go in through a front door.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's nuts. I think it was at my 3 questions, I believe.
I
no,
wasn't even keeping up.
You've got about 5 more minutes if you want to add another question or whatever.
Okay, let's see. I have a couple of things written down. I have one more question. Oh yeah, Potter County. I'm looking to move to Potter County in Pennsylvania. How are we looking out there? Yeah, it's very rural.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Right now, there are 9 Dogman and 4 werewolves. Wow.
That's not bad. That's not bad because it's mostly woods up there. So that's pretty impressive.
As desolate as that is out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, God's country.
Yeah, that is beautiful country out in that part of the world. So no, that's not bad at all. That's very few, actually. What else?
I think. Are you still with us, Michelle? I think our call dropped. Hang on one second. All right, guys, there was a little technical difficulty there. Fortunately enough, it was right at the almost time mark. So Michelle got all of her questions answered, and I'm just going to let Victor and Michelle say goodbye to each other and move on to the next call.
All right, Michelle, I'm glad to get to speak with you and get some more questions, and maybe we can do this again.
Oh, that would be wonderful. It was truly my pleasure meeting you and Jeff, and I appreciate everything you guys do for everybody. And, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I know everybody else agrees.
Well, thank you for all your support. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate your time because I know you both are very busy.
No problem.
Thank you.
Have a happy Thanksgiving as well.
You too. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Our next subscriber has been on the channel before to share his terrifying encounter, something that happened out in Ohio, actually, really close to Cincinnati. Preston, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Jeff. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. We have Victor on the line with us as well.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Preston, I'm going to give you your 15 minutes to ask Victor anything you want to ask him.
Okay. First of all, Victor, I'd just like to say thank you. I don't know if you remember, but you actually answered a couple of my questions before in the comment section. So I'd just like to tell you I appreciate that.
You're welcome, sir.
All right.
Got more than that, sir.
All right. My first question is, considering as long as the breeding program has been going on and everything, I'm sure you all have acquired a lot of information. So I'd just like to know, what can you tell me about the genus of all three? Like what is their family tree?
Well, they go back to the beginning of time.
Okay.
They was here. God made them. We hadn't altered them. They hadn't been altered. The only thing they've been done is put a chip, and that chip's to call them in and to call them into the war program.
Okay.
That's the only thing they've been added to.
I guess what I'm asking, not so much like what we've done to them, but what we've what your scientists have found out about their family tree, or have are they the root of, say, the canine tree, for instance? I guess that's more what I'm saying. If you go back and you track them down, dogs are related to wolves by family tree. So I guess what I'm asking, are they their own family tree is what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. They are their own family trees.
Okay.
They're more, they didn't evolve from a wolf. They are a pure, they've got their own bloodline of werewolf. They've got their own bloodlines of the Dogman. We've seen that they carry less disease than humans. They've got stronger immune systems. So that their trees are rooted better than ours are.
Mm-hmm. Just out of curiosity, because this is, I guess, a 1A question off of that, because we share so many physical characteristics with Sasquatches, there's no, we don't share any DNA with Sasquatches?
We supposedly do. Supposedly it's half human, half ape is what they say the DNA of a Sasquatch is.
Okay. It just seems like it would have to be, you know what I mean? Because we look too much alike.
Yeah.
Now, my second question would be, you had said a while ago, and one of the uploads I was listening to, just basically how, with the werewolves, they basically, they are trained or programmed, whatever, not to hurt Americans or whatever.
That's correct.
Okay, and it's just a simple question, how do they know who an American is?
Well, anything on the 48 the continental U.S. is what they're supposed to protect.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay.
Now when they get into Alaska, in that area, that they're doing for the tribal people up there, and or whoever, like the one I had to take out of there, and things like that. So, it's just an ongoing that they evolve into the people around them and know the people that's around them and keep up with them that way.
Yeah,
so they know the American people.
They are. I've never seen a werewolf, but I can tell you just, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but if werewolf is anything like Dogman. They're incredible creatures. You know, and in my upload, I kept referring to them as things, and you know, it's really kind of doing them an injustice. And I really want to apologize for that right now. You know, referring to them as things, because you know, like when I take my fear away, because I love nature. You know, I love animals.
Oh, that's great.
I love Mother Earth, and
there you go.
You know, although I was freaked out, I gotta say this was one of the most magnificent creatures I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You know, they are.
Yeah.
You know, they are beautiful. You know, I hate to say it for everybody who was had a terrible experience, but you know, if you just had an opportunity to put your eyes on one, and I'm not encouraging anybody to do that, but if it's not a up close, aggressive encounter, if you have an opportunity to just catch one, I mean, and you get over it, you know, you might have to reflect over it when you get the fear out of your mind, and you just recognize, for one, you know, the fact that you can live to tell about it, you know, it is a gift to begin with.
That's right.
You know, and I feel, you know, honored because, like I said, like I saw it in the course doing my job, and where I saw it, I had to go to on a weekly basis, and I'm here to tell you the story.
Yeah.
You know, so, but on to my third question, and this is a little bit complicated, and this is something that I've been wondering about ever since you began with your uploads. Okay, so the werewolves are just quite simply, they're a military asset, correct?
Correct.
So, as a military asset, whenever you potentially have to go and hunt one down, okay, here in the continental U.S., how is that not violation of posse comitatus?
Well, when it breaks the rules of engagement, that it, you know, when it breaks rules of engagement, then we have to do something about that, and that's why it has to be hunted down.
Gotcha. So basically, you can look at it you're almost as a role of a military police who is going to apprehend. Okay, that's a simple answer right there.
But you know, the bad thing about it is that for them, there's only one solution, and you can ask them to come in, and I've had a few that would say yes, but the vast majority choose death over coming in to be go back through the program. You know, and that's what you're supposed to. The agents are supposed to ask up front, do you want to go back into the program? And they could say yes, and if they do, you're supposed to get them. They should walk with you, come in with you, get on the copter, come back to Virginia, get back in the program, go back through the program. There's nothing added to them. There's not another chip added. There's nothing added to them. And then they're relocated. They're not put back into the same area. And then they're monitored very close. You know, we know that chip number. And we watch them very close. But most of them is going to choose to confront you then and there because they are superior to you, but they're not superior to that weapon. And you got to know to use that weapon, when to use that weapon, and stay ahead of them. And that's the biggest thing with the agents. These agents are highly skilled. They're
they would
not
have
your,
to be.
yeah, they're not your normal soldiers.
Okay, I guess I still have a little bit more time left. You know, this is. I hope you can answer this question. Like I say, I had an encounter when I was on my job, and the job I had at the time, I drove a fuel tank truck, and you know, I've always, you know, going there, I was always self-aware, you know, and you know, it sounds like a cliche, but like how they say, like, you would know that feeling when you know you're being watched. You know what I mean? And I visually saw it one time, but I knew every time I was there, it was looking at me. At least the one that I saw the one time. So I knew there was at least one, and it was a dog man. It wasn't a werewolf. And you know, I've been just replaying this over and over in my head, and you know, even the commenters have, you know, said, well, you know, it's not the one that you saw, it's the one that you didn't see. You know what I mean? But my thing is that I was going to stop for like 6 months. So if it or the pack or they, or if it was one or more than one, if they wanted to get me, they could have got me. And they had ample opportunity. But the one that I saw, like I said, it was simply sitting on the roof looking at me.
Yeah.
Just looking at me. And I'm wondering if you know, if the two things that maybe kept me safe was maybe out of one being a curiosity, and two, just that didn't smell good because I'm reeking of gasoline and diesel fuel. I mean, if you smell me, that's what you're gonna smell: gasoline and diesel fuel. And I'm African American, so I just, you know, I've been wondering, like, okay, why didn't I get eaten? You know, because I'm all by myself every week, twice a week, as a matter of fact, and I'm here to tell you that, you know, and I'm here to tell the story. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm just wondering, like, what was it about me that
kept you from getting ate?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Well, let's start with the basics. There probably may have been ample game in the area for it to eat. Smaller game.
Which I know it was, yeah.
Deer, things like that. And you'd much rather have that than have a human. And that is probably the main reason. It'd rather have that type of food than to have a human. A human is its last resource, even with the Dogman. But now that they're more apt to kill the human than the werewolf. They're more apt to kill a human and just leave them lay, not a meet them. It could have been just curious, and it could have been one of the good ones. There was and still is good ones in the Dogman.
I guess just like people, huh?
Yeah, there's good and bad, you know.
Got about 30 seconds, guys.
Okay. Press,
well,
it's been a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Hey, thank you very much, Victor. Like I said, I'm 100% legit. You know, I'm an ordinary plain guy, so this isn't scripted or anything. So I appreciate you, Victor, and I thank you for answering my questions, and thank you for getting me on, Jeff.
No problem, Preston. Thank you for all your support constantly. I appreciate it, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, you too, and everybody else. Everybody, you have a safe and happy Thanksgiving, all right? Take care.
All right. Thanks a lot, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Also, really quick before we do let Preston go for good this time, we're going to let you know what you've got for tagged Dogman and tagged werewolf in your vicinity. You're still in Cincinnati, correct?
No.
No.
But if I could, I'm in I'm in Columbus, Ohio, which is Franklin County. But man, if you could do Franklin and Hamilton County, I'd really appreciate it. Because my mom is in Cincinnati.
Okay. Franklin County?
Yep, Franklin County, Ohio, and Hamilton County.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on one second. Franklin County, Ohio, has got 13 Dogman, and 11 werewolves.
All right.
And what was the
Hamilton.
other one?
Hamilton County.
Hamilton.
Yep.
Hamilton County has 7 Dogmen, 7 werewolves.
And that's just tags, correct?
That's from the breeding program.
Okay. All
That's
right.
not counting wild or been bred or been born in the wild.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I guess that's it. Hey, thank you very much.
No
thank
problem.
you very much.
All right.
And once
Thank you,
again,
Preston.
everybody have a good one. All right. Thank you, Victor.
You too.
Thank
Bye
you,
now.
Preston.
All right, Jeff. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Tonight's third caller is a subscriber who goes by 330 Crypto. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well. We've got Victor with us as well.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and right now I'm going to give you guys your 15 minutes together. Here you go.
Hey, 330.
Hey, Victor, how's it going?
Going well. What you got for me tonight?
Sure. I just had a couple of questions I really wanted to ask you. Really, I'd like to start off with a question about like shadow person or shadow people for that matter. I've had like my brother and I have had encounters before, probably about last October. My brother had an encounter where he woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and he said that his cat was laying on him, and like the cat didn't seem to be affected by anything. But my brother said like his eyes automatically locked on to the window in his bedroom, and he said all of a sudden he seen a black figure there. It looked like it was made of smoke, and he said that he didn't see any features, like any eyes or anything like that, but he could tell that he was looking at its eyes. And what was odd was the same day that he seen that, we had a family friend that had passed away. And so probably like a week or so later, I had my own encounter where I was in my room, and I had like a dresser in my room, and I seen what they call the peeker, I think is what they call them. It was probably about the size of like a 2 or 3 year old. It popped its head out behind the dresser and just disappeared. And like a week after that, probably early November, I was sleeping in my bed, and it was probably like around 3 in the morning or so. Something like slapped me on my shoulder and like jolted me awake. And I could still feel where like the fingers landed on my shoulder. And it scared the crap out of me, really. It scared my girlfriend, scared me. And nothing was around me, and I haven't had any like sleep paralysis or anything like that, but I was just really curious, like, are they like harbingers of death, or, because I know they're like in the supernatural arena. I was curious, like, what are they? Are they like spirits, or?
They're spirits. And
Okay.
Most of the time they are associated with someone that has passed
Oh, wow.
died recently.
Wow.
So
Because
this could have been
that-
this could have been like your friend reaching back to you.
Because, like a lot of the stories I hear, it's usually like negative things that are tied in with them. But the person who had passed away was like a very dear friend, and he was real close to the family and everything, and he's a nice guy and everything. But
yeah.
I hear stories all the time that they're demonic, or even like how
Not always. Not always.
Oh, okay.
Not always. Not always.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Some are, some aren't.
Okay.
And there's the features that they bring toward you is how you discern if they're demonic or not.
Wow.
And with them not bringing any harm towards you or anything like that, would
Wow.
probably say that they're not demonic. That they was just reaching out to you to let them know that it probably crossed over okay and that it's going to be okay, or something like that.
Wow, that's amazing. Because most of the time when I hear different like encounters about them, people try to tie them in with like hellhounds and negative things like that, and I personally didn't want to believe that because the man passed away that same day, and I mean that really opens my eyes now to what they are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they're not, like I said, they're not always that way. Not a long shot.
That's good. That's nice to hear, really, truthfully.
And, especially with it touching you. That makes me think that it was just letting you know that he was going to be okay.
Oh, wow. That's amazing because I was really, really worried, really. Because the guy's a good guy. I mean, you get to really see him that much in his last weeks and months. But I mean, it's good to know he's in a better place, though, truthfully.
Yeah, they're spiritual, and some are evil, some aren't. And
Okay.
it's usually about a 60-40 split.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
it ain't even the negative side that they're demonic. It's to the good side on most of the time. We never, I just got this from friends of mine that dealt with the spiritual realm. We didn't deal with them that much. It's just from what they told me that I can tell you this information that they shared.
Well, I do appreciate you relaying that to me, truthfully.
Yeah.
Well, I have another question. My other question would be, now, I'm going to get away from like the Dogman and Sasquatch and werewolf thing for a second and talk about like aliens or extraterrestrials. Now, with like how their images have been like broadcast to the general public, well, since like Roswell and everything, or even beyond that for that matter, and with like science fiction movies too, with how they sometimes they portray negative, like how the Predator and everything like that is.
Yeah.
Is it the government trying to eventually one day possibly create a scenario to where we would go to war with them, like with like using their secret technology and things like that, or because I know from what I hear from the research I've done, a lot of them are aren't trying to harm any humans. They're more curious, like how Sasquatch kind of are. They have no desire to attack humans for the most part, except for like reptilians and things like that.
Yeah, they appear to be more curious than anything. That they are known to abduct and do research.
Okay.
And I'm kind of at a loss on this for what I can and can't say on this one. I said this is open mic, but okay.
Well,
We've got some that are, they're not underneath me, but in another program, we actually have some that's in captivity.
Oh, wow.
And they don't feed them, they don't do nothing, and they survive. These things survive. They don't know what to feed them. They don't know where to give them regular food or something else. And this is just me telling you what I know. They put regular food in there and it just decays away. They don't ever touch it. And they go weeks and months without eating anything. And water, they don't touch it. And you would think they would dry up, you know. But they go months and months, and they never see them eat or drink anything. The water evaporates out of the bowls and canisters they got in there for them to drink. And, you know, what do they survive on? And, you know, these scientists can't figure anything out on them. Wow. And they're just at a loss at what to do for them or what not to do for them.
Sure.
And they're not dying off. There's the same number now. There was, I think it's 22 years ago when they caught these. 21 or 22 years ago. Same bunch. All of them still alive.
Oh my God. Wow.
I mean, there's not many. I think there's 18 of them. And they're all still alive. They hadn't grown. They hadn't died out. And they hadn't ate. They hadn't drank water. But what do they live on?
Wow.
I mean, they've got them at an underground facility. And I guess they just stay there because I'm sure these beings are intelligent enough to get out if they want it out.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, absolutely.
I think they're studying the scientists, is studying them.
Well, sure, I mean,
and they don't
sure
realize
really curious.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, I bet they're studying the scientists, studying them, and they don't even realize it. But that's not in my program. And,
okay.
You know, I don't have to. We get calls about them, and we do occasionally have to go out and try to locate, but we never do. The little green man theory is not absolutely correct. It's the description that you see in the old movies of the big head. They do have big heads and large eyes, no mouth, and long arms, fingers. It's got like suction cups on the tips of the fingers. Feet the same way. The heel, where we've got a heel, their heel's got like a huge suction cup. And when they walk on these floors in these underground tunnels, I've been there, I've seen, and it pops when it sounds like a suction cup coming off something. You know how it sucks up and pops off?
Sure. Wow.
That's what it sounds like.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're there. And,
Yeah, I mean, I always wondered that, that the government might try to turn the, citizens against them if they were trying to cross that bridge and make contact with us eventually, more than what they have been.
yeah, there was,
We got about 30 seconds, guys.
okay. 330, it's been nice having you on.
Well, I appreciate it, Victor.
Would love to speak to you again.
What county are you
Absolutely.
Yeah, what town are you in? What county are you in?
I'm in Ohio in Stark County.
Stark County.
Yep.
Let me look up and see what you got around you.
All right.
Okay.
There might not be a whole lot of anything, really. I mean, maybe.
No, there ain't a whole lot around you. You got 4 dogmen in your county.
Wow.
You got 7 werewolves.
Oh, wow. Wow. I always wondered if they were around here. I mean, I've never really seen any with my own eyes and everything, but I mean, there are plenty of wooded areas and rural areas for them to be in.
They're there, not many.
Wow.
More werewolves than dogmen. So
And remember, they're transient too. So
yeah, they're
what
nomadic. So remember that number changed tomorrow. It might be 14 dogmen and 3 werewolves.
That's
So
Well,
it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
we're at time, guys. 330 Crypto. I want to thank you for coming on. And I wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for your support of the channel.
Absolutely. And happy Thanksgiving to both of you.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Our 4th subscriber call-in is Carol. Carol, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, Jeff. How about you?
I'm doing well, and thank you for coming on. No, it's what you're going to say. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say it's great to talk to you and Victor.
Well, thank you. Victor's with us. I'm going to give you guys your 15 minutes to get your questions answered.
Okay. Carol, what you got for me tonight?
One of the questions I have, I've heard a couple of videos with this sound on it, and it's the sound like a hyena laughing mixed in with howls.
Yes.
And is that more of a dogman or is that coyotes?
It's probably coyotes mixed in with the dogman,
Okay.
and they're bad about doing that.
I'm sorry?
And you'll be able to distinguish the dogman.
Well, only the reason that I said Dogman is because I've been watching or listening to Jeff and other channels, but my daughter had gone out somewhere down by San Diego area in their RV, and she said that she heard, I guess it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and she said she was hearing coyotes, but she also was hearing like hyena kind of laughs. And she doesn't believe in any of the things that I've told her. But when she said that, I had heard another person on one of the Indian reservations had said that they were hearing like hyena kind of laughs. So I was going to ask you, is that Dogman or is that just coyotes?
That's dogman doing it. It'll be
Okay.
a deeper type sound.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can distinguish it from the
Coyotes.
coyotes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's distinguishable very easy.
That's scary. Okay. The other
Okay.
question I'm sorry?
I said they'll push the coyotes out of the area doing that.
Yeah. Well, they said that the area they were in, like, they were the only one in the campground.
Yeah.
And she does know not to go outside at night. I did tell her that no matter where she is in the RV, to not go out at night. So, well, that clarified that for me. The other question was with the hundreds of dogmen that are being called back.
Yes.
How are they, with so many coming back at a time? I think you mentioned 500 at one point. How are they going through states with people not seeing them?
They go through woods. They travel mostly at night.
Yeah. But I mean, some places there aren't any woods. I mean, there's, cities and things.
Well, they'll go 50, 60, 70 miles north to go around the town to stay in the wooded area. They, as long as they're moving on there, as long as I'm able to track them and they're moving towards Virginia, it's not a problem. I don't care if it takes them 50 days to come from California.
Yeah.
Most time it'll take them. Most time, if they come straight away, they'll do it in 17 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a long way for 17 days. Wow.
Yeah. Well, they run.
Yeah.
You got to remember that. And they'll run 22 miles an hour.
Wow.
And consistently.
Yeah.
Run. Now they can run a lot faster than that, but not at a consistent pace. But 22 mile an hour that's about their standard running pace.
Okay. The other thing is sort of a question and just an observation from what you were talking about. Someone was having problems with what they thought were werewolves, but were actually probably dogmen that had cut their tails off.
Yes.
And what I was wondering is if maybe the dogmen had smartened up and had cut the tails off to perceive themselves as a werewolf, so that the werewolves would be killed when you or someone else came in to hunt them.
That's possible. Very possible.
But I don't know how smart they are. I don't know if maybe they were just catching on, or...
They're smart, but it don't change them chips.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Them chips that are put in tells that they're a dogman. Them chips put in the werewolf tells that they're a werewolf.
Yeah, because I think you had said you had killed some dogmen and werewolf at that location.
Yeah, we killed 11 dogmen at that location, and 8 of them had their tails bobbed.
Yeah.
We killed 5 werewolves at that location.
Okay.
And, and when we looked at the dogmen that had their tails bobbed, is actually about 2 inches long.
Oh, okay. So it's still visible then.
It was still visible, but I mean, there's still muscle in it, but they could tuck it down and you couldn't see it.
Yeah. Okay. But their heads are different.
Yeah, their heads are different. The werewolf's got no muzzle.
Right.
And dogman's got a pronounced muzzle, 6 inches, 6 or 7 inches of muzzle on a dogman versus none.
And their ears are different, right?
Yes, ears are different. Yeah.
Okay.
And the upper body's actually built a little different.
Yeah.
The werewolf's is just like a man's.
Yeah.
And the dogman's, the arms are more animalistic.
Okay.
Is what I'd say.
Okay.
They're not as much human-like arms.
Yeah.
but they've got hands on them, and they're not as muscular.
Okay, because I've listened to like all like 50 of your interviews and stories, so trying to learn as much as I can, because growing up, whenever I had a nightmare, it was always of a werewolf, but it was more of the Dogman looking. But in older movies, like The Howling and those type of movies, they show them more looking like the Dogman kind of
They do.
werewolf, whereas the one with Benicio del Toro, he looked more like the old Lon Chaney kind of werewolf.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that was the one thing that I always had nightmares on was werewolves until I got to be about 20, and then they seemed to just go away. But okay, those are my questions.
Well, you've got about 6 minutes. So if you want to ask
6 minutes.
if you want to ask a couple other questions, feel free.
Gosh, someone had already answered one of my questions, and Jeff said no political things. So I'm not going to ask any political questions. I think we've all had enough political stuff lately. Well, I can tell you where I am, and maybe we can go from there. In Flagstaff, Arizona. Yeah, that's Coconino County.
I love Flagstaff. One of my favorite places in this country.
Yeah, it's beautiful here. Yeah, we're real close to the Navajo and Hopi Reservation.
You're not too bad. You got 10 Dogman.
Okay.
And wow, got 17 werewolves.
Wow, a lot.
Wow.
But our county is really big.
Yeah.
It's one of the larger counties in northern Arizona, so they may be closer to the reservation, maybe.
They're in the northwest section of the county.
Oh, okay. So I'm a little ways away, because I think Flag is more in maybe the southern part of the center of Coconino.
Yeah, center towards the eastern side.
Okay, because I'm on the eastern side.
Yeah.
Well, also, and tomorrow,
they're away from you.
Oh, good. Okay. Because I'm in a complex, so I mean, and there's no woods directly around where I am now. The last apartment place on the other side of the freeway, it backed up to Crater National Forest.
Oh yeah.
So at least I'm on the other side of the freeway, but well, that's not too bad. I don't go camping anymore.
Well, that number won't be like that all the time.
That's bad.
Yeah, they'll travel. You know, they're
So
they're nomadic, so that number could change in 2 hours from now.
Yeah. Since we have a little bit of time, could you tell me about Riverside, California? That's where my daughter and grandson are.
Riverside, California.
Yeah.
What county is that? Do you know?
Oh gosh, is it Riverside County?
Let me pull that up and see if it brings up the county. Bringing up town. I got it. Okay.
You got
you.
Yeah, because 3-year-olds just, they want to be outside all the time.
Yeah, they Dogman. 9 werewolves.
How many dogmen?
8 dogmen and 9 werewolves.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, and they're
That's
on
better
the
there than it is here.
They're on the northeast
Okay.
quadrant of the county.
Okay.
Majority of them.
Okay.
It's showing 1 downtown.
Are you kidding? Really?
No, 1. I got 1 downtown.
Holy cow.
Yep.
Is that werewolf or
It's a
Dogman?
werewolf.
Werewolf.
Yep.
Wow. That's scary.
Yeah, but they do it. I've killed them in every major city in this country.
Yeah. Wow.
I killed 3 dogmen under the arch in St. Louis.
Wow, and that's like city.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, city.
Wow. Holy cow. That's
They don't have respect of where they go anymore.
yeah. Well, I've known about like Bigfoot since like '71 when they brought out the movie The Legend of Boggy Creek.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've sort of followed Bigfoot, but the Dogman and werewolf, I mean, those things have always been like a myth or make believe.
We got about 30
Until,
seconds, guys.
How many?
About 30 seconds.
Okay.
So,
But anyway, I'd love to talk to you guys again sometime. I mean, Flagstaff is always here.
yeah.
So,
Well, it was
Carol,
great.
it's been good.
It was great having you on tonight, and I appreciate your support of the channel. I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
oh, you too. Have lots of turkey for me.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you for
Thank you,
coming
guys.
on.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Our 5th subscriber call-in is to Michelle. Michelle, how are you tonight?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I've got Victor on the other end with us,
Yes, I'm here.
and I'm going to turn the floor over to you guys.
Okay. What you got for me tonight, Michelle?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I'm about ready to pee my pants. Let's see here. First of all, thank you so much for what you do. It's just a blessing. You're a blessing.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. In the training program, when you would train the animals, would you reward them somewhat like you would like a canine?
No, they're too highly intelligent for that. They
Wow.
we didn't treat them anything like an animal. We treated them more like a human being than anything.
Amazing.
They've not been altered from their original status. The only thing that we've done to them, we added the recall chip,
Right.
and that just sends a notice to them to come back to the Virginia compound. And
How do you train them in that respect? I mean, is it like a pulse? Is it?
it's like a GPS in them that when it goes off, they go to that. It sends a signal for them to return to such and such location. This location is like drilled into them,
Mm-hmm.
and they just know to respond to go back to this location. In werewolves, there's 3 locations. We have 3 locations in them, but they're for national defense.
Yeah.
And they have 3 locations that they could be sent to. So they're higher intelligent than more intelligent than the Dogman. So we could program them probably a whole lot more with pulse stations and GPS to do more locations. And they are just highly intelligent creatures.
Scary, so, huh?
Yeah, scary.
Right.
So.
Now, when the pups are born, I think I recall you saying the Dogmen will have around 3, and then the werewolves will have generally 2?
Generally 2.
Okay, now how long are they left with the female? I mean, do you guys imprint on these pups as soon as they're born, or how does that work?
No, we don't imprint them till probably about the age of 18 months. We want them to be up and healthy. We want to make sure they're at a healthy stage. No deformities.
Right.
If there's any deformities in them, we take them from the mother and destroy them. It's not right, but, it was a program. And they would be destroyed.
Right.
We was breeding for a purpose. And, but
now, when you go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
We seldom had any deformities in them. And,
you really worked on the bloodline.
Yes, that's what we was wanting, and that was where we got our alphas came from. That, most of them came out of Sebastian. We had three other males that we bred from also, but the majority of our alpha males came from Sebastian. He was the man. Right,
good old Sebastian. Now, in the one event that you were speaking of, whenever the program ones brought back, what did you say? Was it 24 of them, the wild ones with them? I forget the count. But in communicating with them, I know you said it was pretty primitive, but once they got in the program, were they easily trained?
Highly successful. Yes.
Really? Even with the wild ones?
Yes, even with the wild ones. The program was just like a soldier going into boot camp. 12 weeks, 13 weeks, basically is what their training would be, just like a foot soldier, infantry soldier.
Right.
And that's what they would go through. And at the end of that, they was 10 times better than any infantry soldier we've ever produced.
It's mind-blowing.
It is.
Now, have you guys ever, mounted a cam on one? When you release them, maybe to see what their patterns are, or I just think it would be interesting. When we use them on missions, we do. Right.
Like this past month, when we took 48 to South Africa and turned them loose down there.
And you said that they just walk right on the plane. I mean, do they have kennels that they go into, or do they just?
No, they sit there just like they're soldiers.
That's just mind blowing. That's just mind blowing.
Me and 4 handlers, and they listened to us. Just each one of us had 10, and I had 8, because my mission was a little different than what the other guys was. I had 8 that was specifically with me, and we had a different job to do, and I didn't require as many to be with me to do what I needed to do. So I took 2 less than the rest. But the ones that went with me was all alphas, everything that went with us was the alphas.
Right.
And they're some bad boys.
Oh boy. Now the ones that were in your unit, did you personally train them yourself?
Yes.
Right. So you have that relationship and that respect Like when you told the story about the one that was shot down and you carried him out.
Yes.
Right.
I've got that respect. And matter of fact, this unit that just went to Africa, this was their last mission. They all got their freedom.
Really?
And this mission was over. Yeah.
Now, is that kind of part of the deal? Is that an incentive?
Yeah. We didn't lose any. We lost 2 fingers. I put one of them. One of them lost 2 fingers. And if we had
that just shows how successful that breeding program.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been soldiers. It would have been a lot more that died. We couldn't have pulled it off for 48 men. We couldn't have pulled it off for 48 men. But we had 288 casualties in 38 minutes. That's the damage they can do.
That's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
And the reason we know that is because we put cameras on them and we can see what they do.
Wow. Now, I understand that you're going to get to start up the Bigfoot program again?
We are.
I bet you're pretty excited about that, aren't you?
My dad was on the capture team for the first one. That's as far as I got to go with it.
Yeah.
He was on the capture team. And I remember the stories they told me about the capture. I'm basically going to use the same tactics that they used back then.
Can you mention that? How they did it?
No, it hadn't been done yet.
No.
I've got one in mind that's been seen just about every day for 6 months now, and it's in Georgia.
Now, do you trank them?
Do I what?
Do you tranquilize them? I mean, is that how you would?
It'll be tranquil. We're going to shoot nets over it.
Uh-huh.
We're going to try to get it into this one location, and we're going to go in there days before and lay nets around the border, and then we're going to leave the area for 2-3 weeks and let them get used to the smell and seeing what's there.
Right.
And this is what they did back in when my dad and all them done it. And then we're going to get one man to get to where we can set off the charges in these nets, and have some other people that can be close enough that they can get there, that they can dart them once the nets go over. And we're going to shoot big, huge cargo nets over the top of them and hope that holds them.
Yeah.
You know, the one we want, he's 12 foot.
I know. I remember you saying that. That is amazing. There's no telling what he weighs.
Yeah, he's, according to the people that's seen him, I hadn't seen him, but he's the one I want. He's supposed to be 12 foot, probably 800-900 pounds.
Now, did they ever figure out what went wrong with that program to begin with? I mean, I find it difficult to believe that, you know, an animal of that mass and living out in the wild and surviving how it just did not acclimate well.
Yeah, that was all everybody that I've talked to said that it's just like it has willed itself to not do well. That it is like it got sick, and they had to tranquilize it to get in there to try to figure out what was wrong with it. And they're having to tranquilize it every day or every other day, and they felt like that played a part in it.
Yeah, probably did.
And the longer that they done it, the weaker it got. And finally it just got to where they said it was septic to it.
and then the female.
The female, when the male turned sick, they said that they seen it eating its excrements, and
Oh no.
they feel that it done that to kill itself off, and it did. It turned sick. And the one female, now it stayed. It was good for about 2 years after. They kept it for, well, no, they kept it for 2 terms of presidents after that. And then
Were they hoping to be able to catch another male?
well, they never tried. They never tried to get those. I think they was just holding it to try to learn as much as they could from
About
the
it.
female. But before they was going to let her die, they got her out and took her to a place where she could be watched. And she's still in the area. She's still in the general area there. Still, we've got a tracking device on her. We can track that one.
Uh-huh.
And she's still probably within, she stays within probably about a 50-mile radius of where she was released.
Is that about their radius then?
Yeah, usually about a 50 miles.
We got about a minute left, guys.
Scared. Okay. What county you live in?
Well,
State.
I live in Cedar County, and that is in Missouri.
Cedar.
Cedar, and we got a lot of them. They really should have called it Rock County. We got a lot of rocks, too.
You got a lot of woods there.
We do. And I'm totally surrounded. River, lake, got Stockton Lake here, and yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Cedar County a few times.
Well, I hope it wasn't for work, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
What critter was it?
I've been for both. Dogman and werewolf.
Okay, great.
Okay. That's a passageway for Cedar County is. Go ahead and tell you.
Yeah, I've found lots of structures, lots of tree breaks. I've seen eye shine 10 foot up in the, as big as $50. Yeah, I've seen some stuff.
Yeah, you're loaded with them. Dogman and werewolves, you've got plenty of them in your county right now.
Okay, great.
Okay, your county right now, you got 17 dogmen.
Okay.
You got 13 werewolves.
Oh, moly. Now, are the werewolves evidently the program?
Program. This is the ones that are from the program that's got chips. So that's not counting what's been bred in the wild.
Right.
Been born there. So, but that's like I'm saying, I know that county well. It's a highway, and they're nomadic, so they pass through there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tomorrow that number might be 1 in 10, and next day it might be 3 and 2.
Where's the main pathway? Is it up north? Is it south of county?
This is going to have to be the last question. I don't mean to be rude, but we're cutting.
Okay.
The northwest portion of the county.
Okay. Yeah, that's me. Thank you.
That's where they go through it. That's
right.
where I've been.
All right, Michelle, it was great to have you on tonight. I really
Thank you
appreciate
so much.
your
It was
support.
a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate your support of the channel, and I hope you have a
just love
happy
it.
Thanksgiving tomorrow.
You too. And Victor, bless you. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right, you take care.
Have a great night.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Our next subscriber call-in is a subscriber. He goes by the name of Lee. Lee, how are you tonight?
Hey, good, Jeff. I'm good.
Well,
how are you?
Very good, and it's a pleasure having you on. I appreciate your support of the channel. I really do.
Thank you.
You've got Victor on the line with us,
Yes, I'm here.
and right now I'm going to turn the floor over to you two guys so you can ask any question you want. Have at it.
Hey,
All right.
Lee, what you got for me tonight, sir?
Hey, I was just brought up, like, do these werewolves have like a sense of humor? And do they laugh? Do they, they're critical thinkers from what you've told us. So, anyway,
Yeah,
that's one question.
They do.
Yeah.
They do that.
Uh-huh.
And they do it often do that. And that's part of my nightmare.
Okay. Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So,
oh, man.
that,
yeah. Hey, so the LBL, I don't know, like, I don't know. I thought the werewolves are just a little more benign, and I don't know why. Do they know why they went after that whole that family? It seems like that would have been a Dogman. I mean,
yeah, it was werewolf. It wasn't from any of the program or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
It was a wild one.
Huh.
And the one that I killed after that was a wild one. Neither one from the programs.
How did he let you get up on him so easy?
It just happened. I just turned, and for some reason, he was just like walking through the woods, like coming straight to that tree, and straight up that tree, went above that body, and laid down on that limb, and laid there. I watched him go up that tree, and I could not believe my eyes.
Oh, man.
I couldn't believe it. I'd located the body, and we had walked away, and we had started back, and I could see the tree, and out of the left corner of it was on my right side coming back. I could, the thin woods, I caught the motion, not right out of the corner of my right side of the eye, but kind of in the right field of view.
Uh-huh.
And he was walking right towards that tree. He never looked at us, never made a motion towards us. It's like he never even seen us.
You were with another guy?
Yeah, there was another man with me. And,
man. So like, are you on call right now? Literally, I mean, could they just call you and say, we got something crazy going on, and like, it's just like that, you're gone?
I'm on call, but now I can send people instead of me.
Yeah.
I can send people, but now if it's something really crazy, I would probably send myself.
Man, pick me up, man.
It's
still.
Give me a
call, man. I'm gonna go with you. I'm just.
It's still in me to want to go, even though I've got papers that says I'm not supposed to go. From the PHOTOS.
From the PHOTOS. Interesting, man. Wow, it's just unbelievable. It just blows my mind. And I always tell people we live in a matrix. There's so much going on that we just, we're not even aware of. And it's weird. I remember I was in New Jersey. I was a little kid, and somewhere like around Gladstone, and I went outside with my dad, and I was with my sister, and I swear to God, I buried this, and I've just been thinking about it, but I saw these two glowing eyes in the shrubs, and I started crying, and I ran over to my dad, and that's all it ever turned out to be. And who knows really what that was. But I look back, and I'm like, wow, yeah, I saw these two glowing eyes, and that's nothing came of it. But just, I reflect back on that, and it's just, who knows?
To a child, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. I saw these eyes just staring out at us, and so I mean, like who knows?
Yeah.
really not enough proof, but
Nobody else has to see them.
Yeah.
That child's seen them, and it made that child cry. And
oh yeah, that terrified me.
That terrifies you. Yeah.
It terrified me, and I just buried it. I don't know, but I've always been fascinated with Bigfoots. Even at that same age. But I had no idea that there are these dogman werewolves. Man, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah. I was there's Bigfoots are they can be a terrifying creature. The ones I've hunted in probably in Louisiana the one Fouts, Arkansas is probably the scariest one I've hunted as far as Bigfoot. That's probably the scariest I've been from a Bigfoot.
Was that the one where that was like the 3-day hunt, wasn't it? And you finally caught up to him in that cave?
I hadn't. No, that was Alabama, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
No, I hadn't even told this story yet. I'll just give you a brief description. Fouts, Arkansas, my first Bigfoot hunt that I did in Fouts, Arkansas. This is just a real brief description of it. I went down there at this time. I was taking every hunt that just as soon as I'd get back from a hunt, I'd get him to give me another hunt just as soon as I got in. And I was running myself to death. And I was dead tired to give out. And I got down there, had located it, and I got up in a tree. And I was up in this tree, 15 and 16 foot tall. That's where I was. And I was wedged between two limbs, looking down. And the sun came up, and I fell asleep. I was going to get down when daylight came. And I had my usual setup. I had a tent set up over there and a lantern close to the tent. I was watching it. And sun came up. And the sun came up, and went to sleep in the branches of the tree, and something nudged me. And guess what it was? It was a Bigfoot. He was waking me up. He took his hand and shoved me. And he shoved me. Before I could turn and get the 458 on him, I had to give out some keys just saying sorry. Before I could get turned to shoot, after he shoved me, he was gone. But he reached 15, 16 foot high and shoved me in that tree.
Oh, wow.
And after that, he never came back. He was gone. And I never did catch him. Wow. But I seen him. I turned my head, looked down at him, seen where his arm was. He could have grabbed me by the arm just as easy as he could have shoved me.
Yes.
And that's my worst Bigfoot.
Oh, man. Wow.
But he left the country, and I did too.
Yeah.
About 5 days later, when I finally gave up that he wasn't coming back. But
and where did that happen again?
That was in Fouts, Arkansas.
Okay.
Yep, that was in Fouts. That was the first Bigfoot hunt I've had down there. I've been down there to Fouts probably 10 times.
Okay.
So that's all.
You still get the same feeling like for every hunt like when I go to work, I'm still always a little bit nervous. I mean, I've been a nurse for a while, but I know things can go wrong, and I'm always aware of that. But do you still get you still get that same feeling? Like,
Yeah, I get that rush.
yeah,
I get that rush. Yeah, I get
of
that
course,
adrenaline.
right?
Yeah, I get that adrenaline rush. Sometimes it's a lot more, depending on the situation.
Yeah, of course.
If it's really going fast,
Yeah.
if things are really going bad, you know, if I know I've got agents down or something, or if there's more than one agent on the hunt, and I know I've got an agent down or an agent with me that's down, and I know it, it's different feelings. Yeah. And that's what my nightmare actually stems for, is from losing an agent. And because I don't think I reacted quick enough to save him. But there was nothing I could have done to save him. I done good to save myself, let alone save him.
Wow. Oh,
and
man.
I have nightmares from it. And I mean, I killed 11 dogmen trying to save us. But
I remember that. I remember that episode. That just blew my mind. Absolutely unbelievable.
I couldn't save us both.
Wow. I mean, you guys got ambushed. It sounded, from what you said, you got ambushed from every single angle. I mean, it's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing you weren't killed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it absolutely blows me away that you didn't perish as well. I remember that. I remember all that. Yeah. I know I'm running out of time here soon, and you probably already talked about this, but I just wanted to like this silence, how everything goes silent. Like, how often will that happen to you? And is it like, holy mackerel? I mean, we're talking silent. Everything stops. Like, I just wondered what you had to say about that. Probably my last question. I know I'm running out of time, but
okay,
that's pretty eerie.
Yeah. When you're out in the woods and hunting these things down, it'll go quiet. It'll all go quiet, and you'll know it's fixing to come down. And it's really bad on your nerves, or if you've got nerves, or you know, people tell me I don't have them. I've got agents that say I don't have nerves. That, you know, that they come in and they'll tell me that I'm done. You know, here's my resignation. I can't do this. And they'll say, how do you do it for so many years?
Yeah.
And I just tell them, I guess my nerves is got in tune with it or something. I don't know.
You'd be a good trauma doc, man. So. Yeah.
Coming up on 1 minute, guys.
Okay. Lee, where do you live? What state?
I live in Los Angeles, man. Good old California. So.
Oh Lord.
World of the liberals.
What county is that?
Pardon me?
What county is that?
I guess you just say Los Angeles County. You know, I live close. Yeah, I live closer to the beach. I live in like Torrance. You know, but I know we got the forest out there. We got Devil's Punch and the national, I don't know, Los Angeles National Forest or whatever. But I'm always wondering. I've heard a few encounters out there, but I kind of always wonder really what's out there. You know.
I'm fixing to tell you. Breeding program. We have them out there. Yeah, we got them out there. Wow.
No way, man.
Yeah, way.
Way.
I'm looking at them right now. You got 6 dogmen. You got 3 werewolves.
That just absolutely blows my mind to pieces, man. I mean,
But they are right at they're right close to, they're nearly in the national forest, every one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a pleasure to talk to you, and I talked to Jeff for a second. I really mean it, and that's it's an honor to talk to you. And I always kind of pray for you, and I just
keep me in your prayers.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I will. And thank you. I was scared to come on and talk, but I don't know.
I'm just an ordinary guy.
Lee, that was 15 minutes. It was nothing. It went by real quick. I told you. I'm glad that you were able to. I'm glad that I was able to convince you.
I'm glad that he done it with us.
Yeah. You had some great questions, and like I said, thank you for the support of my channel. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah,
and
I got one of your shirts on the way, man.
Sweet.
They're gonna go, "Who's that guy?" And I'm gonna be like, man, you know what? You don't even know.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm doing a whole bunch of new merchandise very soon when I can get a free minute.
That's cool.
So, but
I can't believe a Bigfoot reached up and nudged Victor. That's just, that's, oh man.
That's a story only you got to hear.
Yeah. Wow, man. Yeah.
Well, Lee, we've got to end this call.
I hope the show goes well. And I'm sure, like whoever else is going to be calling will be excited to talk to you. Maybe one day when you write your book, I'll be able to come out to the signing or I don't know, whatever. So
okay.
Lee, thank you very much, and have a happy Thanksgiving. All right, buddy.
Yeah, I will. You too, Jeff.
All right.
And you have a happy Thanksgiving, Victor. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, Victor. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Our next subscriber call-in is going to be DJ. DJ, how are you?
Pretty good this evening, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing well. Nice to hear from you again.
Thank you.
I got Victor on the line with us as well.
Yep, I'm here.
And now I'm going to give you guys your 15 minutes to ask questions. About the 14-minute mark, I will say, hey, we're almost at time. And Victor then will ask you your location, and he'll fill you in on what you've got in the breeding program around you.
All right. Sounds good. All righty. Victor, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Hey, it's good to hear you well, friend. I was worried about you, as most everybody in the audience and people listening were worried about you. And I want to thank you for your service, first and foremost, from your start all the way up to the present.
Well, I appreciate that.
And for all the civilians out there and what's going on out there in this world now, we really thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
I always wanted to know, between the big three, I know one y'all had to let go, but as far as the big two go, as far as the breeding goes, how long is the rate for carrying their young from, the Dogman up to the werewolf? And as far as the gestation period, is there any differences between what they do in the wild and what they do in captivity?
Dogmen carry about 30 weeks.
30 weeks.
And the werewolf goes about 31, 32 weeks.
That's not much time. Do they usually have, when they do give birth, do they have one, limit to one? Do they have more than one? Or?
No, the Dogman has 3, sometimes 4, but most of the time it's 3. The werewolves will have 2 most of the time, and sometimes only 1.
Goodness gracious. While they was in the breeding program, Victor, did at any point, did the researchers or your team, intervene to help, coax them, train them, feeding or anything like that, teaching them?
The young, yes, if something happened with the mother, if the mother rejected the young or something,
right,
we had to step in and help with them. And if there was another mother that was the Dogman, it wouldn't work with them. But on the werewolves, if there was another mother, female werewolf, that gave birth on the same day,
right,
the same day, she would take the young and raise it as hers. But it had to be born on the same day. I mean, if it's 2 or 3 days difference, they knew.
Oh man,
They would reject it.
that's amazing.
We've tried to put them with them, and they would reject them and have to have humans raise them. And they didn't do near as well. And it was raised by that.
Man, that is so amazing. What is, as far as their growth rate, how fast do they grow, Victor? As far as, compared to a human, I'm sure they grow faster, but I just
Yeah, they do. Full size werewolf at 7 years old.
Oh my gracious!
Yes,
that's amazing rate of
8,
growth.
9 foot.
God, that is something. It's hard to believe something that's mixed with, primate. Yeah,
7.5 foot.
Gosh.
And I can't speak for
the Bigfoot. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. They say they're not near as fast.
Well, you probably not being, closer to, us as far as genetics goes.
Yeah, because they say that they're half our DNA.
It's amazing, these things, they're able to run, jump, walk, and talk, and climb, and elude us, and they're so much like us, but yet they're so different.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Their strength is what amazes me.
I wonder, I've heard stories, and I think it was Jeff may have told one once, or I heard it on one of them, I'm not for sure, that where a man came home and he'd locked his 2 dogs in a trailer, a steel-sided trailer, and he took his girlfriend out, and when he came back, the lights hit it, there was metal pulled back, and it had been opened and pinned like a tin can. And he pulled a Rottweiler and I think it was an Irish setter or something like that out of it, and killed them and eat them both. And how it can rip something like that open is amazing.
Well, the Dogman's claws are longer than the werewolf's. Dogman's claws will get to about 4 inches long. The werewolves get about 2.5. But I've witnessed a werewolf tear through 1/4-inch plate steel.
My God. Well,
I've watched him do it.
Gracious. I've come to accept that as they're just, to me anymore, they're a being, they're a physical being, and they're a physical organism. They bleed. They live a lot like us as far as their life expectancy. But to me anymore, and I've run into a couple of them, to me, it's just a thing anymore. If I'm out hiking or hunting, I hardly expect to see another one. Don't want to. But if I do, I just accept it as like you would see a bear in the wild anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a few that I don't want to have no more, and I hope and pray the good Lord I don't. But
yeah,
it was a rare thing when I seen them then.
Yeah.
But it seems like that Virginia's like the travel hub. There's a lot more going. They travel through Virginia a lot more than what people realize.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
We're located in Virginia.
Yeah.
That's where
Langley.
Yeah, close.
Closer. No, you can't give the exact, but it's great to know that you're here in our home state and home base. That's for sure.
Yeah.
How fast do these things travel, as far as you know, Victor? I mean, how much ground can they cover in a given day?
A Dogman can run consistently probably for 12 hours at 22 miles an hour.
Goodness gracious almighty.
A werewolf can probably run about 24 to 25 for 12 hours.
Goodness gracious. I hope a lot of people, if they run into them living close, you might as well get the idea.
Outrunning them.
Outrunning is not going to happen. Even if you do an automobile, they're determined, your sense of smell's there, they'll find you.
Yeah. they can track you.
Yeah.
They can run faster, but not for
lengthened periods of time.
Yeah. They can probably run their top speed for maybe an hour and a half at top speed.
That is amazing.
But that's
covering some ground.
Yeah. You're still looking at close to 40 miles an hour.
Gosh. Well, Victor, it's amazing. It really is, and it's another amazing to know that you're out there helping us, and you're blessed. It's a blessing having you doing what you do, and you're being blessed and doing what you do. Yeah. I'm just glad the good Lord has seen fit to keep you safe all these years, and I hope He does it for another 30.
Yeah, I do too.
And I hope in one time you reach it, you reach your point to where you're going to retire peacefully and you don't have to worry about this stuff anymore.
Yeah. If I could get nightmares away.
I can imagine. You lost a lot of good compatriots.
Yep.
And I consider Sebastian one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what you told me and what I've heard, I'd love to meet him. He sounded like one heck of not an animal, but a friend and an individual.
Yeah, he was a wonder.
An amazing wonder.
Smart. I mean, God, he is smart.
Well, I have to say it. Of all the people you worked with, it's a shame that you trusted him more and he had a better relationship with you.
Yeah, at the time, I did.
It's amazing. He was so worried about your welfare. It just goes to show if they can change and they can see forth like that, anybody can change.
Yeah. Yeah, and then me do what I had to do. But he had told me he couldn't survive in the wild.
I'd say he'd been in captivity so long, and so used to having man bring him his meals and his doctor and his entertainment, seeing you, talking to you.
Yeah. It's, and I didn't know how long I was going to have to go underground.
Well,
so we done what we needed to do.
Well, I know you probably heard this 1,000 times, but he won't suffer anymore. He won't want nothing, and you don't have to worry about somebody mistreating you anymore either.
No, that's right.
And I know them agents, God forbid, they were fellow Americans. They were your friends and your compatriots.
Yep.
But to mistreat him the way they did, what did they expect?
Yeah.
That was uncalled for.
It was.
But he might have been different from us, but he had the same physical parts and the same brain, and he had emotions and feelings too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know probably a lot of people out here are going to be mad at me for tonight saying, well, why didn't you do this or ask him that? Or, well, to me, I didn't know him personally, but the way you speak of him, he was as close to a man and a best friend as you can get.
Yeah. It was good.
And it's not our place to judge a species. There's good and bad and all. There's more bad in, the werewolf's retarded cousin, as Jeff says, and I like to agree, the Dogman, but I honestly believe somewhere along the line, they might be a good one there too, maybe. Yeah, not many, but a couple.
Yeah, we talked to one earlier tonight that seems to have had one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Watched him.
That is amazing. And one other thing I wanted to ask, how long, as far as breeding, Victor, in the wild, is there, an alpha that controls, all of his herd, or is there do they breed for a lifetime, or how does that work?
The werewolves usually take 2 females and go with them.
Right.
Now the Dogman's just a whore. He'll breed with any of them that'll breed with them.
You're awesome, Vic. You tell it this way. He's just a whore. I love that. You just tell it the way it is.
That's just how they are.
Goodness gracious. That's the reason they're able to spread their seed as much as what they are.
Yep.
Do you all maybe know a guesstimate I know that you all don't have it, you all can't really guesstimate accurately, but what would you think, the ones are in the wild, but not the ones that have been in the program, but the ones just in the wild alone?
right now I've still got 100 Dogman. I've still got close to 200,000 to call in.
That's crazy. And that's not telling the ones that are not tagged.
Yeah. But there's very few of the tagged ones coming in right now with these.
You think they're starting to catch on, Victor?
I don't know that they're catching on. They're just not coming in, not wanting no part of the program, or, you know.
Coming up on that 1 minute mark, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
What state you in, DJ?
I'm in Virginia.
What county?
Haswell County.
Haswell?
Yep.
Haswell
County.
Haswell.
Yep. Tazewell.
Ooh, you're in a wooded place.
Yes, sir.
You're in a heavy wooded spot.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The boonies, in other words.
It ain't too bad there. You got 9 Dogmen in your county.
9 Dogmen. Not too bad. I figured there'd be more.
You ate up a werewolf, so.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh my
got
God.
19 werewolves.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, the werewolves I'm not worried about. Most of them ain't too bad at all.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I hope everyone is having a blessed day, and I want to thank you all for supporting the channel. Your support is what makes this channel continue to grow and go, and what gives people a place to want to share their ideas, theories, and experiences without ridicule and judgment, just treated with the respect that they deserve. That's all because of you guys and the community you have created. Thank you. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and friends. These creatures are real. They're out there. They're dangerous. Share this information with those you care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for answers, and God bless.